This is one ultimate hunger-busting sandwich. It's saucy, cheesy, messy, and big on savings. There's just something about a big, cheesy, saucy, messy sandwich. One of my favorite meals as a kid was veal parmesan, especially if we were having it on a bun. But then you become an adult and you have to grocery shop for yourself and you realize that veal is not all that cheap, and neither's all the cheese, and then there's the breading and the dipping and the frying. We've kept all the flavor, simplified the process, and we've made it thriftier. We're swapping the meat for eggplant, the cheese for a quick bechamel, and our timely eggplant bake recipe makes 6 servings and costs us $14.79 versus $18 to $30 for a more traditional veal or chicken parm. So start by washing your eggplants. I'm using 2. You ideally want about 12 slices. Just trim off these ends, keep them for homemade veggie broth. Now slice your eggplant into lengthwise slices of about a 1/4 inch thickness. And if you want to use round buns, then just slice them into rounds instead. Arrange on baking trays and brush with a bit of oil, salt, and pepper. We're going to bake these at 425 degrees Fahrenheit for 20 minutes, flipping the eggplant and the pans halfway through. Meanwhile, let's get all that cheesy, saucy flavor with a quick bechamel. A bechamel is a classic white sauce made mostly of butter, flour, and milk. This is so quick and easy to make that we've stopped buying shredded cheese, and every time we want a cheesy sauce, we just whisk up this quick 15-minute bechamel. I'm adding 3 tablespoons of vegan butter to a pot over medium-low heat. And I have about 1/4 of a medium onion and 3 cloves of garlic. Once the butter melts and starts to sizzle, add in the onion and garlic and let that cook for about 2 minutes until it's fragrant. Then add the flour 1 tablespoon at a time for a total of 3 tablespoons. Whisk after adding each tablespoon of flour until you can't see any flour anymore. And then let the flour cook for about 1 minute before adding your milk. Now it's time for 2 cups of soy milk. Add the milk slowly and whisk in between. That way you'll minimize any clumping from the flour. This is what's going to make the sauce really nice and thick. Finally, we're going to add in nutritional yeast. I use 2 to 3 tablespoons for that cheesy flavor, a pinch of nutmeg, and a little bit of salt. Let that thicken for about 5 to 10 minutes and your flavorful cheesy sauce is done. You made that bechamel while your eggplant baked, and in 20 minutes, both are done. So pop open a jar of tomato sauce, get 1 cup of breadcrumbs, and let's build this. I'm using a 9 by 11 inch baking dish. Start with a layer of tomato sauce, then a layer of eggplant, sprinkle half the breadcrumbs, more tomato sauce, and spoon on half the bechamel. Repeat with another layer of eggplant, remaining breadcrumbs, tomato sauce, and finish with the top layer being bechamel. We're gonna pop this in the oven at a lowered temperature of 350 degrees Fahrenheit for just another 20 minutes. If you caught our previous recipe video on how to make homemade breadcrumbs, you'll know that we love having them in our pantry for recipes like this. And by making the bechamel instead of using shredded cheese, the only fresh ingredient we need for this recipe is the eggplant. Click the link below for our pantry and freezer tips. And did you notice what we did there? We skipped all the dipping and the breading and the frying, and we just dumped the breadcrumbs on top. It tastes virtually the same, and now I'm talking to you instead of washing a pile of dishes. We're serving up our timely eggplant bake as a hunger-busting sandwich, so I'm gonna toast up our buns, slice some roasted red pepper, and get the eggplant out of the oven. Once the sauce starts to bubble, you know your eggplant is done. We scoop a double layer of eggplant into our buns, drizzle with extra bechamel, and top with roasted red peppers. On my face, it's on my fingers. Does it get better? Serve up your whole eggplant bake as sandwiches, or have the leftovers over pasta, mashed potatoes, or with roasted veggies. It's easier, it's thriftier, and if you tend to buy a sandwich like this out, they usually cost us about $8, but this one cost us $3.50. So my hair is back, my sleeves are rolled up, and I'm gonna take another bite. Thanks for watching. Subscribe, like, comment, and share. We love to hear from you. We'll see you for the next one.